Um, yeah, I just was reading Mark Goldfeder's response to AOC on X, and it's kind of striking. I should also mention of course, I'm in a Chinese restaurant. Speaking of, Judaism or Yiddishkeit, I'm in a Chinese restaurant. To the left of me are three adorable girls, probably students of the Minsk Linguistics University College, and where the KGB recruits. And the German embassy is right across, actually next door to us. And my friend lives right behind us in the building, or she did. She's in Vilnius now, but Vilna. Speaking of Yiddishkeit, but anyhow, so yeah, I mean, Caleb Malpin was pointing out, those Hamas were, the Muslim Brotherhood. They were founded by some like Muslim dude who made a study trip to the land of, freedom, and he loved it. He loved the way Americans mowed their lawns, and I'm sure he loved the whole Protestant merchant, Jewish merchant thing, or Marano merchant thing. Going back in history. It just as I guess he was Egyptian. I'm assuming, but just to an Islamic merchant type. I guess Sunni, right? Yeah, like America is the land, the most wonderful place. I mean, it was for my grandmother. She was a rug merchant from here in Belarus, and yeah, all the Jew rug merchants loved America, I guess, because they got to steal money. They got to tyrannize people. They got to be parasites. Over here, we took away your right to vote, or maybe we even shot you. This is my kind of place, or historically speaking, that is. It's not, post-capitalist anymore, unfortunately, but at least, like we took out the trash here. In America, if you're trash, we love you, or they love you. So anyway, yeah, it's really funny that, it's, like whatever this Jewish Zionist, mouthpiece's name is, Goldfeder, I think. Yeah, he describes, like Hamas's actions, and I gotta say, I mean, Hamas sounds very American. I mean, they love capitalism, they're merchants, they're terrorists. I mean, all that is very American. Violence and capitalism. So I don't see what the beef is. I mean, I guess if you're a Zionist, it's a big problem. But you guys collaborated with the imperialists. You're generally like my Uncle Irving was. Uncle Irving, he married Aunt Esther. He lived in Florida. He was a walking stereotype and an Oriental rug merchant tyrant. Hilarious stories about Irving. A great friend of Babyface Gambino, the head of the mob. Yeah, absolute, kind of American New York story, absolutely corrupt and repressive towards, people I support, the proletariat. But, I don't think you can complain really, because, Hamas is just, it's really, in the end, I gotta say, it's just the Islamic version of America, and that's why the Democrats apparently, I mean, the hilarious part is the Democrats relate to Hamas, and the Republicans relate to the crazy, head chopping Wahhabis. Well, they're both head choppers, I guess. They're murdering people in Syria. They've destroyed Syria. So, there's a bipartisan consensus on murdering people like me, or, Belarus, murder Belarus, murder Russia. It's great, destroy the Soviet Union, destroy Syria. Anything that's normal and rational, and like where capitalism has a limit. Yeah, that's the whole thing, right? Is like you guys love capitalism and murder and theft and cheating and lying, and we don't. But I guess we have to die, so you can live, in your view. But frankly, I think the opposite. Like I guess. To paraphrase Annalena Baerbock, well, 180, not 360, 180. And yeah, so anyway, it's really kind of ironic, like reading whatever this guy is, Fetterman's, whatever, I forget his name, but Fetter, whatever, who's this description of Hamas's, citation of Hamas's call to action, just sounds very American. Like they're sort of like head chopping good government liberals, super capitalists. I mean, that's totally American. They're just Muslims, but they want to be American. So, the American dream. Killing, raping, stealing. Well, for, as Lenin said, the great American tradition, as opposed to some of my people. Some of my people. 100 years ago, they had the small American tradition, which was anarcho-communism and trade unions and Big Bill Haywood. But, people like you destroyed that. And they destroyed here, and they destroyed Syria, and they destroyed Libya. So, enjoy each other. That's all I have to say. Yeah.